For the instructional video, we're going to be sewing a sleeve back onto a blouse.
Here you can see we need to reattach the left sleeve.
These are the materials we're going to need: straight pins, a needle, thread, and fabric scissors. We've picked thread that matches the blouse. We're just going to cut a length of thread with our fabric scissors. And then we're going to attempt to thread the needle. Now, if you're over 40, you're probably going to need some reading glasses like I do. Here we have it. The next thing we're going to do is create a knot in the thread. We do that by wrapping the thread around our fingers, twisting it, grabbing it high, and pulling it tight so that it forms a knot. I've marked with a pin where we should sew the sleeve back. Before I sew the sleeve on, I'm going to make sure that I get the larger of the two ends at the top where your arm is bigger, and just going to measure that. You can see that this side is the top. Here's the seam. I'm going to make sure that the seam is on the inside. I'm just going to pin this into place where I would like to make sure it stays on the blouse. I'm just going to use my straight pins to do that. Go into the fabric and through. On both sides. And I will be sewing right in the middle, right between those two. I'm going to take my needle and thread. I'm going to put the knot on the interior of the fabric. It's going to go right through the sleeve. And I'm going to tack it into place just a few times to make sure it's good and strong. She doesn't lose this sleeve again. All right. And then on the inside of the blouse, where I put my first stitch, we're going to come back and we're going to make a knot. We go through the fabric, and then before this thread gets totally tight, we loop it through. We're going to do that several times to make it stronger. Through the fabric, and then through the loop in the thread. One more. Through the fabric, through the loop. At this point, we can cut the thread. We can remove our needles. And now she has a blouse with two sleeves.
And this is what the finished product looks like. Thanks for watching.